Welcome back to another Linleys Garden Railway video. This is the fourth episode of a short series currently focusing on the relaying of the double track main line section between St John's Station and the Overpath Bridge. Stick with me and follow my progress this weekend, which, this time, especially concentrates on making the wooden former to shape the in situ concrete for one of the end walls and towers of the bridge and embankment. Within this opening view, I just want to check that the bridge base goes in and out easily and to review how far I progressed last weekend. Looking good so far, so let's get on with the next bit then. I've got my dad's old workmate bench set up in the garden so I can avoid dashing backwards and forwards between the garden and my garage workshop. I've drawn up some design sketches so I do have plans to follow. Checking the exact dimensions and allowing for a little working clearance, I began by cutting the board which will form the flank wall of the abutment under the end of the bridge. I'm making use of some 12mm plywood offcuts. One side happens to be painted white. These softwood battens form the recess depth of the flank wall compared to the corner towers, which is a design feature of the bridge stonework. This will all become clearer as I continue. I am following my plan. Apparently, we still have some spuds to dig up, and my wife is hard at work dealing with this, whilst our resident supervisor oversees the general proceedings. The corner towers are tapered a little, with a slight slope back on the sides, facing the bridge. The cast concrete will have an embossed stone block effect. I'll show how that'll be achieved in the next episode. Whilst I'm referencing future videos, please do subscribe if you haven't done so already. And it tickles me when I get a thumbs up too. With the timber work for the flank wall and the towers mostly complete, I've begun working on the first piece of the shuttering to form the embankment wall. I have to ensure the inner surfaces of the timber work line up properly so that the concrete face is just as I want it. A few minutes of fettling now saves a mess later on. The tower furthest from the path is going to be partly buried in the flower border, but I still want the concrete to be tidy, so I will include some shuttering to properly shape the concrete there as well. The larger sections of stone walling will be formed to include recessed arches, just to add a little design feature to an otherwise flat wall. To shape these arches, I will include some round top pieces of wood on the inside of the shuttering. I have several of these to cut out, so here goes with the first two for the flank wall. My jigsaw is good enough for this sort of work, but to tidy up the curves I will use my workshop sanding disc. I'm cutting about 1mm outside the drawn line. So, the first two arches go on the flank wall. I will fix them with screws from the outside so that if they get stuck in the concrete later on, I can remove the rest of the shuttering, leaving them in place. I can simply prise them out separately afterwards if that happens. I always keep screw heads on the outside. I've learnt this trick the hard way before. For the embankment wall, I need a further 8 arch pieces. They will be all the same size apart from their height, so the stonework relief detailing is easier to add. With the shuttering built for the long embankment wall, most of today's work is finished. I have left the timberwork separated into 2 main sections and not fixed it in place, so that I can add the stone relief detailing next weekend. This has been good progress made today. If you have any questions or suggestions, please add them to the comments box below. There is really no charge for adding comments, using the thumbs up button or subscribing to my channel. I've added some notes in the description below, so take a look there for more background information. Thanks for watching and bye for now.